Hello and welcome to Todhunter Gallery. Today I am going to paint a portrait from a photo of my friend for a bit of practice and also to keep my touch and my eye in. And I've started with a sketch of his face and features to begin painting. Now, in the early stages of painting a portrait, try and go for the darks and the lights first to establish the shapes on the face. The shadows on the face create depth as forms on the face recede into space, and the flow of the highlights describe the surfaces on the face that project towards you. When you are ready, then mass in the hair and the background as you go. On the edges of the face, always try and create variation where the face recedes and protrudes with little flicks of the brush and harder and softer variations in the edges, as you can see here. In these early stages, you are trying to get a greater sense of the big shapes on the face with slightly larger brushes before you refine the shapes and details at a later stage with smaller brushes. Try and locate the highlights. You can be approximate at this stage, but because highlights are specific, they can be used to check, for example, the location of the eyes, or for example, the length of the nose. Locating the ear will help articulate the head with the neck and the shoulders. So try and locate the ear early on. Evolve the architecture of the head as a whole, introducing smaller shapes and values only when the larger shapes and values have been developed to the best of your ability. Fuse and blend edges always in accordance with the concept of overall focus, and try and avoid sharp edges that draw the eye in. Try and make changes with deft, clean touches of the brush, and always soften everything you can as you go along. During the course of a painting, you will inevitably pay attention to individual areas, but these should not detract from the effect as a whole. Always try and stand back and look at the painting as a whole to understand how you're going along. With experience, you will acquire an understanding of where to emphasize and what you want to edit. Keep everything broad and simple, but remain sensitive to the modeling of the face. And if the flesh tones start to appear washed out, try and hit the highlights and the darkest darks of the shadows on the portrait again. And this will redefine the painting as you go and give you a sort of fresh eye. Cross-reference the eyes, nose and mouth to fine-tune placements and proportions. The eyes, nose and mouth are of course the most important features on the face, so it's important to get these fine-tuned and correct. The painting of a head is a continuous process of appraisal and reappraisal, and you will not stop making alterations until you put down the brush at the final moment of the painting. That said, it is important to know when to stop. Of course, you must paint and repaint the likeness until you think it's resolved, but remember that many paintings can be spoiled by being overdone and losing the freshness of the application of paint and also the brush handling. Ultimately, you are guided by your own individual perception. In these final stages, use smaller brushes to try and define the details of the face. And here is the final finished portrait that I did over 2 sessions, which probably took me about 4 hours in total. It was a bit of practice, and as I said in the beginning, good to keep my eye in and my touch in with the brush, and just a lot of fun to do. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos coming soon, and thank you very much for watching.